Hello, everyone. My name is Lisbeth Garcia, and I am a teacher at National Preschool. I'm very happy to be presenting for you all today and raising awareness on the importance of children's play. I'm here to tell you about what I believe is one of the biggest issues impacting children's play today. So, what's the issue? Due to parental anxiety, children are playing less over time. Now, parents face anxieties about their children every day in their day-to-day life, and that can be normal and reasonable, such as parents being worried about safety with their children playing outside late or their parent or their children wandering off to other places and not being safe, such as what we saw with COVID, with parents worried about illness spreading among their children. But there are three parental beliefs that I believe are causing the most anxiety and are hindering our children from playing today and giving them less time to play. One of those is that childhood is a time for work and not play. So the misconception surrounding this is that play is a waste of time, that children should be doing academic work instead of play, and that because of this, over time, recess and lunch have gotten shorter. And the second is the rising economic inequalities. We're seeing a larger gap in inequalities. And so parents are afraid for their children's futures, and they want them to find a good job and financial security. So because of this, it sort of leads back to that academic focus, which I'm going to talk about in the third belief, which is a call for increased academic focus. Children are afraid, parents are afraid of their children falling behind academically. They're preparing children for college very, very young at a young age. And they begin building their resume from a young age, having their children in extracurriculars and having them really focus on academics to begin that resume. So, some of the statistics surrounding these issues is that from 1981 and 1997, there has been a decline in unstructured playtime, a 25% decline to be exact. And the number 5 weeks is the number of weeks the school year has increased by the second half of the 20th century. So we've made the school year longer. And in the 1990s, a study in Switzerland studied children who were allowed free play versus children who had more restrictions. And the results were that the children who were allowed free play had twice as many friends and better motor and social skills. Play is important because it benefits all areas of development. As we know, it supports physical, cognitive, social, emotional, language and literacy, and self regulation. And play deprived children find it harder to interact with others throughout their lifetime, leading to poor resilience in certain situations and reduced self control. There are skills gained through play and that they follow children into adulthood. So they're building skills that will serve them in the future. If an adult were to deprive children of play, they could have a lifelong effect on that child. So play can mean less mental health issues as well. This is important. 1 in 11 American children have an anxiety disorder today. Boston College psychology professor Peter Gray, who studies play, believes that lack of play and freedom can be a factor in these mental health issues. For example, COVID anxiety is a thing, and there was less play during COVID, more screen time, and so now we see a lot of children having anxiety issues because of this. So one of the ways that I propose to raise awareness is at three different levels. At a local level, I would suggest district-wide meetings, virtual and in person for those parents who need to work. District-wide meetings could be a great way to bring awareness to parents. And parent nights offering childcare could also be an option because I know that's a big issue for parents. They have to work and they're busy. So virtual meetings and also parent nights that offer childcare. At a city level, I would suggest community fairs. In my city, we've seen community fairs that pop up tents and they bring in professionals to talk about issues, so they can raise awareness. We can have teachers, counselors, psychologists, and the whole fair could be themed around information awareness of the importance of play. And at the third nationwide level, I would suggest commercials, websites, social media information. So commercials like the one here below by the American Pediatrics. Dr. David Hill, he's a pediatrician. In this short commercial, he's talking about the importance of play.
Play with you?
So commercials like this can be played nationwide. Social media and information programs can be nationwide. Everyone has a phone, it seems nowadays, so everyone can be on social media on top of things such as this cases like this. As far as addressing the issue, there are three things I propose. One is a call for action to extend playtime in schools. It's to urge parents to call for changes in their school districts to extend recess and play and free playtime. They could start with city council meetings. This video below explains the benefits of extending recess. And if that's not possible, districts in New York and Connecticut have play clubs in which children can play for an hour before or after school with very limited teacher involvement. The next is incorporating play back into at-home routines. So allowing children, uh, urging parents to allow children at least an hour more of free playtime, increasing outside time, cutting back on screen time, providing open-ended play opportunities. This could be with things you have at home already, paper, crayons, or can be accessed at very low cost. Things that are, even a pencil or markers, just some things you already have available at home. And offering last is, and most important, might be offering parents counseling. So parental worries are valid and their concerns should be addressed. So start at the root of the problem. Counseling and therapy can be offered to parents as well as children. Parental support groups can also help. It starts with adults recognizing coping with their anxieties as much as they can. So I know at schools I've worked in the past, especially during COVID, we had counseling available, services available for families, parents, and children. And this can also be a great way to address this issue. Thank you very much for your time and attention.